Cool. All right, we'll get started. This is a technical session for Kalatu Cloud and Kalatu Premium, Kalatu Blog. It's for you to learn how to build a capture page using the Kalatu products. I'm Jay Harris. This is with the Empower Network. I'm not going to try to sell you guys anything because I'm assuming that you guys pretty much either have these products or know how to get them, etc. What I will do is just jump right in and show you what I've been learning about how Kalatu Cloud works. So let me get started. I'm going to actually start with the end in mind, and then I'm going to show you guys how I got there. Let me share my share my screen, and you can see what I see. Should be the one to share. Okay, so this is where we're going to try to end up. So basically, this is the capture page that I've set up for myself. And what we're trying to do is get this part right here is Kalatu Cloud. I'm going to show you basically how to get that form in there and how you can create this form and just throw it into your existing blog. And then at the end, we can take questions, or I can kind of give you my thoughts on all of this wonderful stuff. So I'm going to start with the blog part. You guys have probably all seen this before. This is an old, setup that I've had. I'm just using, actually I don't remember what theme I'm using on this. Doesn't really matter because, yeah, so what have you. All right, so let's say that this is just a page that you just have, right? This is I just kind of set something up real quick, nothing really important, but you'll see how easy this is to do what we need to do. So we're going to start with the Kalatu blog part. Go to your home, and we're going to go down to web forms, and we're going to create a new web template. But before I get started, did any of you all listen to the, or if you all listen to the Project Titan session that was done on emails, the 15-minute emails, that one actually inspired me to figure out how to get this capture page system going, because I wanted to use those. He had seven, basically it was a session where he talked about the 7 follow-up emails that just take 15 minutes each to create. I thought it was a really, really great session, and I wanted to implement it just using the Kalatu products. So this is kind of what inspired me to get to this point. It's really, really good. If you guys have not seen it or what have you, go back and take a look at it. It's very, very clear. It explains it very, very well on what to do. And I'll kind of show you how to use that in this. So essentially, we're just kind of trying to create a capture page. So which I mean, and as you all know, a capture page is a page that just basically has data or information about your site or your product. So, it'll be information here, and then you'll have a way to capture your information. So like very similar to what I did here, right? So I got detailed information about what I'm trying to sell, and then capturing their info there. All right, so you're going to go to create a new template. We're going to basically create a web form. I'm going to actually start off with the basic layout. There you go. I'll pick this one. Why not? All right, so this is going to be, we're going to call this test 1. Hopefully you all have started to play around with this a little bit. All this is, Kalatu Cloud is basically, the way that it's broken down is there are all these different little pieces. You have to put these pieces together. This piece right here is the web form piece, which is only a web form piece. So let's say this is test, this is for new prospects. I'm going to leave this to be general interest. You can add categories here if you want to. Since this is just a test, I'm going to leave it as non-categorized. You can add list names. I've got a couple different lists. These lists is where you're going to capture this information into. So if you need different lists, email lists, this is where your email list you have for this. And this is an option for a thank you page. If you want to send a thank you page as soon as you go through this process, this selection here will kick out a thank you page to the person that you're capturing the information from. I'm just going to ignore all that. And then these are actions that you can use. I'm actually going to leave it to be do nothing. But if you wanted, again, after someone subscribes to my list, I want to send an email. We're actually going to come back to this because what we're going to do is select an autoresponder. And this is where you can set up an autoresponding sequence. When I refer to that, that's that 7 emails follow-up that I was referring back to earlier. You can select that here, which is actually pretty powerful and pretty amazing. I'm just going to do nothing right now because you can go back to this. So, save this. No, I'm missing a field. What am I missing there? You must design your form. Oh, right. I'm going to click on next, go to theme builder. You go here, you can edit this. This is a test web form. Couple things to note about this. I have found so far adding images to this header those images do not show up. So I would limit this to text. You can, make the text different colors and different sizes and all that stuff, but I would just keep it as text right now. I think since it's still in beta, getting out of beta, images and or videos do not transfer that well yet. But you can keep it simple and just leave text. Text will definitely work. And click on next. And this is the also very important last page, which allows you to capture all the information that you need in order to put this web form someplace else, which is essentially what we're going to do. Our goal here is to take this web form and place it on the blog. The best way to do that for Kalatu blog or Kalatu Premium is to use this iframe code as opposed to the HTML code. Use the iframe code. So select all, Control C, that'll copy all that code. And then you can press finish. All right. That's the first part. That's the web form part of this. So we're going to go back to our blog. And again, I got here, you're going to go back to you pick the blog that you're working on, theme settings. Actually, in this case, I'm actually going to pick widgets. So I go to widgets, and I'm going to pick, I'm just going to do widget sidebar. I'm going to add a widget. And the widget I'm going to add is the very one at the bottom. It's called text. At this point, it's going to ask me what text I want to put in. It says arbitrary text or HTML code, HTML. I'm actually going to put in that HTML that I copied. Sorry, I actually misspoke. If you actually go back to web forms, this is where you went to HTML. I'll show you another place where you want to use that JavaScript. You want to use JavaScript in your actual blog, and I'll show you that too. So, boom, next. I'm happy with that. Next. All right, so I'm going to take my HTML code, select all, Control C, and then I'm just going to Control V and put all that HTML there. I'm going to close that. Save and publish, and ta-da, it's right here. So this is how you get that web form on your blog, on your the front page of your blog site. Let's go back to Kalatu Cloud, and because you've got the web form set up, I'm just going to run through real quick how to set up the autoresponder so that you're using the correct web form and everything's all connected. This is very similar to what I did in the last video, but I'll just show you how to do that real quick. I'm going to use one that I already did. Well, I'll start all over. So this is autoresponder. You're going to click on, you just want to keep it standard. Click on next. We're going to call this test 1 to coincide with my other test. That's test 1. This is going to be so this is the name of the autoresponder. Then this is the autoresponder letters that I'm going to have, that I'm going to use to kick out, to push out. So now it always asks you to save this before you move on, which is smart. This is where you can put your 7 letters if you were using your 7 follow-up letters that I was referring to earlier. I'm just going to go ahead and pick a very general basic letter. This is just a basic regular letter / email. This is what's going to be sent off to people. So I'm just going to kind of run through this. You'll get the same idea of creating a letter. You can make it happen. This is the name of the letter. You can send it immediately after triggered, which is what I usually default to. Then you can go to letter builder. Decide what you want the letter to look like. At this point, you can, this is basically an email. You can make this look anything you want. Throw in video, throw in images. This video and image works great. Put in here whatever you want to put in here. This is all editable. You can change your logo. You can add names. You can add all different types of functionality here to make it unique to your business. I'm just going to leave it. This is the plain text version, just in case, if you understand plain text and you want to edit it, you can do it here. And then you are pretty much done. And you just save it. The spam score basically goes through the letter that you just created, rates it to see if it would be caught by spam. It gives you a spam score. If the score is low, then you're fine. Like, it's not being caught by people's spam filters, which again I think is a really cool feature. Okay, so we've got this autoresponder set up. So then I'm going to go back to my web forms. All right, here we go. I'm going to go to edit. This is my test one that I made. And this is where I'm going to add my autoresponder. Boom. Test one. Yay. So what did I just do? I just went through, I created a web form, which is still this web form here. I went back to my blog, used the widgets, added that web form into the blog as a widget. Then, in order to make sure that once someone put in the information, which I categorize in this particular, for it to capture, it goes into this general, this list right here. So when someone puts their information, it's going to go into this general interest list. After it does that, it's going to go through and start this autoresponder. This autoresponder sends out this letter, basically saying, "Hey, welcome to my company. This is information I want to give you right away." I highly recommend you using the seven email sequence that they talked about before. You make all 7 of your emails, and they'll just automatically get kicked out to your potential client. And that's really it. What you'll get is something akin to this, where you have information widget on the side that snaps into the KC, the Kalatu Cloud autoresponder and web form. Now, are there any questions on that? Okay, let's say you're like, "That's awesome, Jay. This is wonderful, but I want to do this with a post, not just my blog site. I want to do this with my post. How do I do that?" I am going to show you. So go to a post. And we're going to kind of do this in real time because I don't really have any posts for this dummy account. Slowly on this very wonderful Wi-Fi connection I'm on. Okay. In fact, I'm just going to jump on one of these. So I'm going to go and open one of these guys up. This is one of my posts. I don't even know what's here. While I'm waiting for this to open up, it's taking so long, I'm going to go back to my web form, which is here. And this is where we're going to grab I'm just making all my laptop work hard. This is where I'm going to grab the iframe code. And essentially what we're going to do is toss in that iframe code into the posts. And you'll see that it works out really, really well. Okay. I think something just happened. I'm going to get back to the session. I don't know what happened there. Ah, my connection is unstable. That is what is wrong. Okay, hopefully this will work. My connection's not doing so hot. I might be trying to do too many things. While we're waiting, does anybody have any questions on any of this? No? Nothing? Okay. Jeez. Took me forever. All right, so this is the iframe code. I'm just going to get that. So I'm going to select all, Control-C to copy that. Going to go to my posts. So, you know, words, blah. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste that. I'm going to go to text. Right. Go to text, and I'm going to paste that. Okay. I'm going to paste that iframe information. And basically an iframe, this iframe is basically taking your web form and they put into a box. They call it an iframe. And then they just worry about what's in that box. It's a really, really great way of dealing with web forms, simply because you don't have to worry about it sprawling out or not being coded via HTML a specific way. One thing to note here, you can change the size of that box with the width. Here it's 215, the height is 22. Maybe that's too small. You can change this to 30. Change this to 40. That will help you size your web form box. So because you don't want to basically have a scroll bar on your web form box, you just want it to look clean and simple. You don't want to people scroll through that box for things to work. So I'm going to put that in there. I'm I'm going to update. And this is, again, this is within the post. And yay, I'm going to preview changes. Looks like my Wi-Fi is way better now. And it's going to, brilliant. All right. It's going to show me, it's going to have this web form there. Now, we have the one existing here that we had originally, and then we have this one there. I'm going to show you real quick what I did to leverage these two different uses of web forms. So this is my capture page that I have for my, abundance blueprint. This is the first page people see, right? So they're like, or this is basically my capture page. So blah, blah, cool, awesome, you read this stuff, great, I want to get in, put my information there. I've got this web form going to one autoresponder. Then I just set up a new, I just actually created another blog yesterday. Or another blog post yesterday. And I'll show this to you all. Mo, give me some mo. Give me some mo. All right, so we've got this one, which is gonna stay there because I put it in that space in the blog. But then I also have, I have all this information about landing pages. What I did was I put in this other web form, which is basically just a web form that is connected to an autoresponder that just kicks out information about these tips. So you can have different web forms kick out different information using autoresponders. So that's one of the really, really great, powerful tools you can use Kalatu Cloud, this Kalatu Cloud with. You can set up different web forms to do different things and then throw those web forms throughout your entire site. I think it's a really, really great way of automating the work that you do, so you don't have to worry about following up with potential clients, giving people information that they need, all the while capturing their contact information. Because as you know, as a business, one of the big things that we are always trying to do is get emails, get contact information so we can follow up with people. So that is pretty much it. That are basically the two ways that I have come up with or found to really leverage web forms and autoresponding within the Kalatu premium